Gaspy waking up. Hey, bubbies. Um, Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Well, it's the day after the eclipse, and, well, we're still here, so, I guess it was all smoke and mirrors, no witchcraft, no. Oh, wait, there wasn't a rapture, right? The rapture didn't happen? Okay. No rapture. uh, yeah. It was interesting here, though, in Jersey. Where I was in Jersey, we had about maybe 91% totality. But it looked the way it does, like when you know a storm's coming. Thing is, it was great. It was wonderful. Um, but the sky had cleared late, mid morning, and I was like, yes. And then like the clouds all blew in, and I did. That was one thing. I was actually a family gave me a pair of glasses because I hadn't gotten a pair, and I'm saving now. I know I've saved others, but anyway, and a gentleman down the couple buildings down in the courtyard had his manual camera, set up with the long exposure and all that. So I'm gonna ask him if I can see that sometime. But yeah, it was good. I like I said, the cloud cover came in, and I didn't have the glasses at that point, and the cloud cover came over, and I was talking to some people. I was taking out some garbage, and I'm always taking out garbage, and they were talking about my hair, and I was telling him this. His son loved it. His son, he has beautiful, like wavy, dark hair, up to about here, but it's not curly. It's that beautiful curl wave thing. Like when you put in braids, when you have straight hair and you put braids in wet and you like let them dry like that, you take that kind of, not really even a crimpy look. It was beautiful. And a young kid, and he said, "Oh, he'd love that." I was like, "Well, mom was there too." They were, I'm not sure. They're Middle East something. India. I'm not. There's a large Indian uh, population here. Um, and they have such beautifully bright clothes when they're going out on their like event or something, going someplace. They always have such beautiful, bright orange and yellow and pink and stuff. So I know they do like bright colors. Um, and she had a head covering and all, but that's just not in just one place. So, but yeah, the dad was bald, but he had this big old bushy, dark beard and mustache, totally full. And we were chatting a little bit. And he's like, I've never seen you. I've been here 3 years. I've been 2.5, but anyways, so I told him, I said, if you guys want, I could bleach just one strip of his hair, like when summer's coming for being out of school. If the school, like when I was in school, they, or my kids were in school, and that was in Arizona though, they had, like rules about color and style and, mohawk and all that. So I told him, I said, when my oldest kid, and that was my only child, I remember one year he was young, about that kid's age too, maybe 7, something like that, 8, and I said he wanted a mohawk, seriously. So being in Arizona, the kids, the boys, a lot of them, they just buzz it. They don't want to mess with it when they're younger. And so I had a pair of clippers. So what I did was the first day that we did not of summer, school summer break for the kids. Got those little clippers out, and I gave that boy a mohawk. And we used. I actually let him use the one time wash right out, uh, like gel, or the different things that they have that you could put color in, but just for the day, sprays and stuff like that. And I would do that, but for like a holiday or something like that. And the schools, didn't mind something like that. So yeah, and all it was like I told him a couple weeks before school starts, I gotta stop shaving the sides. Like 2 3 weeks before, stop shaving the sides so they grow in a little bit. So like the day before school, I'll just buzz cut the mohawk off. And the kid was like, "Oh," he was laughing, and the dad was like, "You like that? You want to get some color?" And I told him, "I've got, I've got to get some more bleach after my next batch, but um, after my next bleaching of the hair." But it was so sweet because I told them, I'll do it. You both can come over. And I told the mom and the dad, I said, when you bleach like kids' hairs, most people that do that, if you want to put some like non-traditional color or something they want, you don't bleach. You just about this far from the roots. You don't bleach the roots. You'd have a little bit of a shadow root type of thing. Just because it does tingle, even if your scalp is not super sensitive, it still does tingle. It kind of needs to. If it's not, it's probably not a good uh, mix or something, because it always, if it's gonna work, it's going to tingle. But I said, yeah, we could do that, just a little strip, and I could do it with just all one color or two different colors blended together. I could do, because his hair is about that long, so I could do a little tiny rainbow. There's enough there to see the distinct colors. And I told him I just picked up atomic turquoise and electric amethyst. Still waiting for the psychedelic sunset orange. But yeah, I told him I'll do it, and he's like, "Yeah, really?" I was like, "Yeah." And I looked at him and I said, there's a hairstylist, colorist in Australia named Unicorn Mains by Mikey. And he asked me the name of it several times. And I told him how he bleaches beards and mustaches, big old full ones like this guy had. And they'll I've seen one guy get it all purple, one guy get his all teal. And I said he loves doing the rainbow. He goes, "Rainbow, yeah." I was like, "Yeah, he's rainbow beards and mustaches, absolutely, and they look fabulous." And right now, everybody's starting to gear up for like Pride Month, and because they have Pride Month and stuff like that in other places, more than United States. I know a lot of Americans have this. I don't want to call it a flaw or a fault, but they have this thing. It's like we think we're the only ones that have a lot of things, and that's not true at all. Yeah, they have that. So, but yeah, and I told him, I said, I'm not sure if I would attempt it, but somebody must do it somewhere around here. I mean, I don't know what they would charge for that, but it's not impossible. And I said you could try it yourself if you wanted to. I mean, I could show you how I learned, on YouTube and such. So it was really interesting. And he actually said, when I told him these colors, these glow in the dark, everybody, even the mom, were like, "Really?" And I was like, "Yeah, I know. I'm dying. I haven't done the black light yet. I haven't found it yet, the bulb." But yeah, I told him that would be awesome. So maybe I'm getting out there. I'm talking to my neighbors. I'm really, I'm kind of like in the between steps of walking with this grief, my kid. So, yeah, it's it's hard putting yourself out there, especially with families that have kids, people with kids, because it's right in my face. So, but I'm so close to being able to jump up to that next step. It's just the steps. Some of those steps are really big steps, and they take more of a jump to get to them. And so that's kind of what I'm doing now. Putting myself out there using events like the Earth. I was like, what'd you think about that happening? So I'm kind of using some events. We also had power go off. I found out what that was. The transformer by the right by the entrance of our complex uh, got hit. uh, yeah. So it was beautiful. And the guy with the camera, I talked with that family. They were laughing for a while, and he said something about, "Oh, I like your hair." I said, "Yeah, it's spring." They, oh, definitely spring. And I was telling them about the black light. They have young kids. They were all excited. They were like, "Ah!" I said, maybe sometime this summer somebody can bring a black light fixture out on the playground when y'all are out there when it's still dark out in the summer, and I'll come out. We'll let you all look at my glow in the dark hair. And the kids are like, "Yeah, Dad, can we have a black light?" So, yeah, it's another step with making friends with some neighbors that aren't even in this particular courtyard. It's just that a lot of people from the complex in this area of the complex, because I we have the big playground right across from my apartment, so I get to like see, interact, that type of thing with people that aren't in my particular one or two these two courtyards right here. So, yeah, it was an interesting day yesterday, but it was more the way for like 91% probably is what I am in Jersey. I'm about 35 miles from where the quake originated Friday. And so we're a little south of the total, totality um, of 100% totality. But we were about 91%. And 91% looked about. I have a couple little short videos up on my YouTube here. And it looked like when dusk was starting to come, the last of the big sun, but it was still plenty. You could see fine, but it would just have that, or when it like a big storm is coming, and it just has that not just overcast but dimmed look. That's what 91% totality looked like. So, and of course, I didn't have any professional equipment or lens, or anything. But somebody said that if you take the glasses, just to free anybody in the future, if you don't have any kind of filter for your phone, it was pretty easy. I'll have to get another pair, and what I'll do is I'll make something that I can attach to it, so I don't have to hold it with one hand. But all you do is you just took the lens and put it over, you know, the phone lens, the camera lens, and then you take your picture. You look through that, and it's really was pretty cool to see. It's not like I haven't seen that before. I mean, I am 61, but it's always exciting for me to see something like that. Um, I've always read about space and earth and oceans, Mariana Trench, volcanoes, tornadoes, those things. I've watched and read so many things on that stuff because it just interests me. It just input, knowledge. It's just amazing. um, I just saw something on from the Stingray Lab with Charlotte the Stingray. They're an aquarium, seaquarium. They have one up on Instagram today. Of a, it's like this incredibly garnet red, deep red jelly. It's like, wow, I learned something there. Did you know that red, a lot of deep, deep, deep sea animals are red because red is the color that you lose being able to see in dark. The first color that you're not able to see as you get darker and darker is red. So that's a camouflage. I was like, oh, okay, so I learned something. That must be, yeah, come to think of it, I do see red on a lot of them. So I guess that part disappears, kind of, visually. Pretty cool. But, yeah. So anyway, we're still here. The earth moved under my feet on Friday, and Monday the skies are supposed to be tumbling down, but we still have a cloud cover, but it actually is very pretty, very nice out, very mellow. There's just every now and then a breeze comes through, and I hear the birds. The bushes are starting to leaf up now. I love this. This is my favorite time of year. Spring is my favorite time. That's when everything's that's able to come back to life comes back to life. So make sure you drink your water. Make sure you're kind to people. You don't know what they're dealing with that day. And love yourself too. And drink water.